wonder... Oh, jeez.
Hey.
Sorry. Quiet here.
Go check that out.
That doesn't seem like a great idea.
Check it out.
What if I could? But I can't, so I won't.
Won't be able to pick this. I just want to trade a few things. Hey.
I'm glad you're here. We've been having some trouble with raiders.
Tell me what's going on.
They showed up in force a few days ago. There were too many of them. We had to give them what they wanted. They said as long as we kept paying them tribute, they'd leave us alone. At least we know where they're hiding out. Here, I'll mark it on your map.
Don't worry. I'll take care of those raiders for you.
Thanks. It'll be a relief not to have to worry about them.
Caps, I've got goods.
Not right now.
I'm gonna tear your fucking throat out!
Lost something. Disappearing act. Huh?
Playing games with me, huh? There you are, you little bastard. Should be.
I can carry something if you need me to.
Hey,
What can I do?
grab that.
Yep. I don't think I can get to that.
Get that.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
Someone there? We're so dead. Shit! Lost it.
That was a hell of a first step.
Ah! Found her, sorry. You having fun?
What was that? Hear that? Is that you? Come on.
Nothing there now.
In our hands anyway.
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
So can we stop worrying about paying tribute to those raiders?
Are you glad you decided to support the Minutemen now?
Of course. It's good to know we've got each other's backs.
You know what? Since we talked, I'm feeling swell. Look at the two of us here in Sanctuary. Prepared for the future.
Stay sharp. Don't let your guard down.
Remember that settlement that was asking for help? All safe and sound again.
Good. This is how we're gonna take back the Commonwealth. One small victory at a time. But our work is never done. It's what we signed up for. Our scouts have found a promising spot for a new settlement. Once you clear it out, set up a radio beacon to let settlers know about it. Before you know it, we'll have a thriving new farm instead of wasteland. We'll take back the Commonwealth, one piece at a time.
Hey, Valentine.
Time to hit the... Time to hit the road again? Get back to the hunt for Eddie Winter?
Let's head out.
Well, all right.
So, any stories you two come across out there? I get the exclusive, right?
Piper, I wouldn't know who else to tell. got a pretty good track record cracking those. That terminal.
No way I could pick this.
Bomb could go off in this place and no one would be the wiser.
Sometimes strong not understand human.
What do you need, General?
I cleared out that spot you sent me to and set up a radio beacon there.
That's great news. Once folks have some place to call their own, they'll be willing to help defend it. As usual, I have something else for you to look into. It sounds like they're trying to stand up to some raiders. It's a good chance to show how much better things could be if we'd all stick together.
I hope you're here to help.
That's right. What's the trouble here?
Some raiders have been threatening us if we didn't give them supplies. We told them to take a flying leap now that we had the Minutemen backing us up. But they didn't seem too impressed. Said they'd be back with their friends to make an example out of us. We're not soldiers. We were hoping you can help us set up some defenses before it's too late.
Seems to be growing well.
I knew you would help us.
Hey, go check it out. Take a look. Head over there.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks for agreeing to help.
Grab anything useful.
We've got to do something to stop these radio attacks. What's that noise?
So much walking. Want to do more fighting? So many humans, not many super mutants.
I can barely tell us apart.
Human look like robot. Fist was weak leader. Strong glad to be rid of him. Strong want to smash something. Sometimes strong not understand human. Strong go with human.
Yes, come with me.
Strong travel with human.
Hey, big guy. Don't eat this one, all right?
Robo-man not tell Strong what to do. Someday, super mutants kill everything.
Hi there.
That's really nice they did. I didn't used to.
What's going on?
You know what? Since we talked,
Bad news.
I'm feeling swell.
I wasn't able to defend that settlement from the raiders.
Here in Sanctuary.
They got shut up pretty bad.
Damn.
We've got to do better than that if we want to keep these settlers on our side. You know what I'm gonna say next. Another trouble spot. I've gotten word about a settlement that's being threatened by raiders.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow. What a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Good work, Sturgis.
Well, don't thank me yet. I think I got the gist of it, but it's gonna take some time to work out the details of some of the hairier sections. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is gonna take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
At least it's not raining. Take care of your gun, it'll take care of you. I'm always glad to see the sun come up one more time.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Yeah, ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it, here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Thanks, Sturgis. I'll get right on this.
Good deal. One thing to keep in mind while you're building this, it all needs to be wired together so all the pieces can talk to each other. I'll see you over at the building site. Good luck. Once we got everything in place, we'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid. What's going on?
Sturgis.
You need any help with that, signal interceptor?
I need to find parts for the beam emitter.
We're gonna need a military-grade circuit board. Check out pre-war army bases. Anything else I can help you with?
Not now.
gives a shite what happened in this spot hundreds of years ago. Hell of a lot of good that does now. I'd really like to talk to you.
Listen,
You ready now?
of the past.
Of course. Anything you need.
Anything I need, huh? I might take you up on that one day. After Tommy stuck me with you, I was expecting to hate your guts. Not only because you agreed to pick up me contract, but because I was waiting for you to order me around like hired help. Now, so far, you've been treating me like a friend. Hell, you've been damn near nice to me. Now, I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but your kindness is starting to make me wonder if there's anything I learned in the combat zone. It was that nobody does things for other people without expecting something in return.
Surviving the combat zone must have been rough.
That's putting it nicely. I spent 3 years living at the combat zone. Smelled like puke and piss, but I called it home. I was making a few caps, had me own bed to sleep in, and 3 hot meals a day. Then the raiders took over the place. You know that lot. They aren't exactly what you'd call the gentle type. After they moved in, if you didn't keep looking over your shoulder, you were liable to get sucker punched or robbed. Or worse. Didn't take me long to learn that I had to put my hard-earned caps to good use. Buying friends was essential to making life easy. So, I guess I'm waiting for you to hand me a bill. You know what I mean?
You don't owe me a thing.
Now I'm having a real hard time believing that. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll think of something I can do to repay you. I'm not a rich girl, but I'm sure we can agree on something. After all, what are friends for?
Nights like this, a warm spot with a cold
Excuse
beer
me.
would be heaven.
Ready to head? Ready to head back out?
Ready.
Good. Then let's get moving.
Strong find milk of human kindness on own.
What the hell is he talking about? Never mind. I don't want to know.
We've got to get the transmitter powered back up before I can get back to broadcasting.
Nothing's more satisfying than a smoking gun and a pocket full of cats. Anything I can do? If we're looking for some action, I'm betting we'll find it here.
Your friend looks like trouble. Make sure
Want
she's
some help
not.
with that?
Need new clothes? Should stop by Fallon's basement. Open during the day.
I don't know why we let Valentine live in the city. He saves one or two people, and everyone forgets he's a freaking saint.
You there!
Arturo.
You need protection. Everyone does.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Everything hand-tooled.
Or something.
Runs with us.
gonna splatter your brain! Little bleeder!
This isn't gonna do anything without power.
Once we got everything in place, we'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid.
Sturgis.
You need any help with that, signal interceptor?
I need to find parts for the beam emitter.
We're gonna need a military-grade circuit board. Check out pre-war army bases. Need help with anything else?
Not now.
I'm getting hungry. Want someone to eat.
Just gotta make sure we've got enough power.
Just wanted to trade a few things.
Make sure it's all on the same grid. All the parts have got to be able to talk to each other, you know. Hey.
This isn't gonna do anything without power.
we got everything in place, we'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid. What's up?
This isn't gonna do anything without power. I just need to trade gear with you.
Hey.
Hey.
What's going on?
This isn't gonna do anything without power.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Whenever you're ready. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. Don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it! Hold on to your butt!
Damn it! Worthless bastards. Scattered like rad roaches the moment they saw them.
We are under attack. Repeat, we are under...
Hey! Hands where I can see them. Now.
wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I am known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Don't have the key. Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Come on, Sean. We need to go.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
I'll kill them for this. All of them.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
This is insane. All of it.
The degree of trauma you're experiencing right now is understandable. Please, just try to relax. I know this is all difficult to take in.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well,
Your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you. After all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
It's really you? After all this time?
Yes. It's true. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
I think I see where this is going.
Then perhaps you already understand why it was necessary for the Institute to acquire me. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course, but it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
Sean. It's really you.
It really is. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Sean, she loved you. So much.
I have no doubt. I'm afraid I have very little experience with those emotions, having lived my life within the Institute. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret, and asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg, He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
He was a murderer. He killed your mother.
Believe me, I am well aware of the atrocities Kellogg committed. I suspect there are many more we'll never know of. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it has not impaired your judgment. Forgive me. I'd assumed that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Hey there.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to many of us.
Almost done.
Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's a...
Doc.
Oh.
They weren't kidding.
I don't know.
You really are here.
Most of them have lasted
Well, all
long
right.
past their projected
I'm
lifespans.
Allie Filmer.
If you ask me,
you can think of
they
me
were
as the
built pretty
Institute's
well.
chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
Routine security check. See anything suspicious lately?
Suspicious? What do you mean by...
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes. I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit
You're here. Glad you made it.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his
Reporting
office.
status.
Well,
All functions normal.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're
We're all
dragging
looking
their
forward to
targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough
Excuse me,
friction as
Doctor.
it is between
So,
us and pretty much all the
Here
other
you are.
departments.
Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
No problems here.
Good to hear. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
I'm sure it's best for everyone if the synths remain here.
Certainly. We can't allow sophisticated Institute technology to fall into the wrong hands. The results could be disastrous. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. Well, I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.